Sorry, but I'm a killer. Huh? Ow.
Scissor Seven is a cozy and chill anime about oddball characters living on a chicken island.
Oh, did you hear? It sounds like there was a big explosion at the park last night.
Well, it's also a raunchy comedy with a lot of childish humor and what else? Scamming people.
We're professional killers! The pay's great, solid benefits with flexible work hours and travel! It's the best job in the world!
You said the same thing about this job.
Okay, I lied a bit, because it's also a show with some serious moments and good character development. And I lied once more. To top everything off, Scissor 7 features some of the most fluid and creative fights in recent anime. So yeah, there is a lot of Scissor 7, and while not every time, it mostly manages to balance everything out for a narratively rich story. Alright, balance might not be the correct word to use here. It's more about not mixing each aspect in a contradictory way. I feel like a lot of newer stories mismatch comedy and serious scenes to a point where serious moments are downplayed by unfitting jokes, or jokes don't go far enough so feel like just a, well, serious moment. I feel like this is best seen in Marvel shows and movies. Some might know it as Marvel speak or Marvel comedy, where it's not just that jokes don't match the seriousness of the situation, but characters act stupid, while the story tries to lie you that they are smart. Like, holy shit.
Black Bolt could destroy you with one whisper from his mouth.
The smartest man on Earth, Reed Richards, everybody. Yay! In Scissor 7's case, when bystanders or innocent people's life is in danger, characters take it very, very seriously. And I think that might be the most important part. There's nothing wrong with some jokes or quips when only our main characters' lives are in danger, especially when it's over-the-top comedy, right? Just like in real life, we make jokes in all kind of situations, but you probably wouldn't make a yo mama joke at a funeral. Here, while mixing comedy, drama, action, and cozy vibes, you never feel disconnected from these characters.
Office baboon, slap! Yeah! Give me your tie, or die.
Now, to be fair, in the later seasons, the show goes a bit more into the serious tones and story arcs. But by that point, the main characters are already established and you care about their further development. And Scissor 7 does great at quickly establishing connections between characters, in its own way. If you would ask people around me what's my favorite anime, they would probably tell you it's Mob Psycho 100. And yeah, they're right. Of course. Have you seen Mob?
Oh man.
But the thing is, Scissor 7 is really close to it. Mostly because it has a familiar structure and ideas. Okay, let me try to explain my point. The main character has somewhat unnoticeable personality, but also can go to this alternate form or state that is super mega omega strong. They also have a mentor or a master, that is some sort of scam artist, mostly focusing on using the main character for its own monetary gains. But soon you learn that they're actually a good guy with a heart of gold, who truly cares about our protagonist.
When I realized you didn't have a memory, I told you we were childhood friends, but I lied. It's not true.
And just like Reagan, Daibo always comes to the rescue.
You may call me Chicken a la King! Those stuffs almost killed me. Oh my god. Didn't anyone tell you? That young man is my senior stylist!
The enemy organizations and leveling and structure is also kind of similar, allowing for bad guys with unique powers and some interesting mashups.
Bounty and find a high-level killer to take out the people on the island. We must ensure that everyone still fears the name of the Shadow Killers.
And don't forget about the super muscular but 100% wholesome side character. That can work as a Deus Ex Machina sometimes.
Hey! Let's go home.
Just oozing muscular positivity. Both shows deal with being who you are, accepting the good and the bad while becoming somewhat of a new character. Mob is more about growing up and finding your place. Scissor Seven deals with past mistakes and merging what Seven was in the past and what he is now, sort of like becoming a badass assassin hairdresser. Finally, the way both series allows the animators to go hog wild with different styles and ideas is just good. As for the story, it's quite good, building up each character, even the side ones, to be really lovable, but also allowing them to be badass when needed. Seven is a hairdresser that lives on a chicken island with his boss, Daibo, mostly just trying to make more money.
They call me Killer 7. I'm number 17,369 on the killer rankings. My specialty is cutting bangs. I offer quality service and affordable prices. I move among many social circles. Somehow, I'm still single. Why don't we get a drink?
But of course, soon things go south because, you see, Seven is actually a super duper badass killer that lost his memory and now lives, well, this quirky lifestyle. Naturally, there's a lot of people wanting to kill him, well, or require him for their own goals. But it isn't just killers. There is quite a lot of world building, with different nations focusing on science, martial arts, and superpowers.
Their technology, and us, the lowly commoners.
And thus, fighting ensues. There are a lot of turns and twists in the story, like an indestructible virgin that later becomes one of the best characters in the show. But you see, there's one thing that caught me off guard. Yeah, there are a lot of fights and experiments, assassins organizations, and plans within plans. But the Chicken King is something different.
Your father is dead! I don't have time for this.
At the end of season 1, we get the backstory of Daibo, and damn, it's heartbreaking.
Dai-Fei, where are you going?
The thing is, it drops the comedy aspect nearly entirely and takes it really serious.
Escape their fate! Humans just want to watch us kill each other for fun!
It's exciting while showing the sort of real struggles that chickens outside Chicken Island are facing. The best thing is that the aftermath doesn't end with some crushing defeat of the bad guy, but an understanding that there's, well, nothing more violence can do. What's done is done.
Hey! Let's go home.
What? That's it?
I guess we're even.
I won't go too much into the spoilers since I really recommend you giving a shot.
It's not our business. Let's go. I'm not helping you.
Okay, I'll admit, the moment I knew I loved this anime is when a specific episode started out about a perverted character who collected panties. And of course, Seven was hired to hunt this villain down.
That picture.
is who I want to hire you to kill. I never asked you for a f***ing haircut.
After a lot of panties relating hijinks ensue, this pervert is confronted by a trio of old ladies since they decided to take matters into their own hands. But these are not the nice kind of old ladies.
The Island Purity Society. We're here to purify you, you underpants collecting perv.
Seven ends up defending the guy and his panty property. Now, sure, the guy is an asshole, a perverted individual, but he's just collecting panties, and maybe that's not really deserving violence. I think Seven sums it up here perfectly.
In this world, some people like collecting toys. Some people like collecting antiques. Some people like collecting ties. Some people eat a metric ton of instant noodles to get all 108 water margin character cards. Society has told this man that what he collects is wrong, but it's just underwear. Sure, he's a pervert and a deviant, but what's wrong with that?
All of this builds up to one of the most interesting and fluid fight scenes. I just love that the animators allow themselves to focus on movements while making the backgrounds way simpler and creating this unique visual. One thing that I look in anime is not perfection, but something interesting. While you might be expecting a triumphant final punch or attack, Seven ends this battle with one creative and logical move.
The wyvern! I think I'm blind after seeing that! Let's go!
Yeah, showing some old ladies your hot dog will probably make them not really, want to continue the fight. I don't know, man. I feel like a lot of fights in real life would end way quicker by someone pulling out their, Johnson. Maybe I should try it out in real life next time. I'm gonna be honest, there aren't a lot of anime that I can say are truly funny to me. Don't get me wrong, a lot of them are really fun for sure. Some of them aren't really my demographic, if you know what I mean. But I don't know, maybe I'm growing older. Scissor Seven's stupid over-the-top nonsense just hit me in the right spot. It's so absurd and stupid, yet honest and character development based.
You could have killed me.
Hey you! Vandalism is a $500 fine!
Just like Mob Psycho, a lot of the humor actually comes from shifting animation styles and exaggerated cartoonish violence. The contrast between something so stupid and so well made can really catch you off guard.
Leather Granny?
You! My grandson! Now I'll kill you!
As you probably understood by now, this isn't really a kid show, and it isn't afraid to throw out some wild things, either by hinting at it or just like, here, a BDSM granny. And who can go without some deserving cursing?
That's fucked up.
Who threw the f***ing ball?
I said deserving since it once again feels balanced. It's not like every kid and granny is cursing like an old sailor. It's mostly our delinquent main characters, dishing them out in a place where you feel like, yeah, I would probably also throw one out.
Get out of me! They're chasing you!
So, we got Xiao Fei. Xiao Fei!
Even with all of that, it still doesn't forget cute character moments.
I'm taking this fool away and you're not gonna stop me. Why should you get all the cool lines?
In an anime that has so many different style changes, it is crucial to have well-designed and easily recognizable characters, especially when the show goes into chaotic and fast-paced fight scenes. I think designs are great here. They're not over the top with too many cliche anime hair, but they're not boring. Each character is simplistic enough not to require too much work animating, but also allowing for smooth transitions into the higher, more serious gear. The show has its own style, again, like Mob Psycho, when a screenshot can look very weird and kind of lazy, but once you see it in action, you sort of understand it's a choice, and the people making it are truly masterful animators. This, paired with 7 designs, allow for a badass moments while keeping it sort of stupid at the same time.
Yo, Daibo. This guy is too strong.
Of course, our love interest 13 has a nice design, while not being too, panty shot anime. In fact, for a show that has an episode about a guy collecting panties, it's extremely wholesome and doesn't sexualize its characters. Well, at least not the ones that aren't using that for their advantage. It's also fun that it isn't reserved for our main protagonist, but even some small side characters can have a pretty impressive moments. And this scene, paired with the music and comedic timing, goes really hard.
He's late.
So this is your stupid boyfriend. Why didn't you just choose me?
So you're saying that out loud?
Now, one thing that makes Scissor 7 stand out is that 7 isn't using conventional weapons. The main tool at his disposal is a pair of scissors, hence the name. He can control those telepathically. So yeah, don't know a lot of protagonists that fights with scissors. And the show actually uses them in a creative way. The second weapon is a 1000 Demon Dagger, which is, yeah, a cool sword, but it can also split into, what else, 1000 pieces. Pair them up and you'll never sure how the fight will turn out, but you always know what our heroes are capable of. In other words, it never feels like bullshit.
Level 20 energy shield.
Goodbye.
One more thing I wanted to touch on are the intro animations. Just like, once again, Mob Psycho, the show has some stellar intros. Especially there's a part in every season's opening where the animators are let loose to create some fast-paced, beautiful imagery. Like, you need to slow it down. I have to say that it is just so good looking, with its own weird anime style. So, okay, the dubs versus sub thing. Personally, I don't give a crap as long as you can enjoy any piece of media in the way it's convenient to you. Like, that's great. But that said, Scissor 7 case is kind of interesting. The original voice acting is great. Really, really good. However, the English dub has something special. And that's mostly 7.
I have to do this. I dare one of you to stop me.
The whole vibe of the show can feel really different with just this change. English 7 starts off so weird sounding. It's almost like it's lazy. But it slowly grows on you.
Oh! Hey! Those are my balls! Bon voyage!
I think the reason is that the original voice actor, even in stupid scenes, sounds kind of okay, like a hero, you know?
我都已经变了那么多个造型给你看了，为什么你还是不相信我不是汪峰啊？
But in English, Seven feels like such a dumbass.
I've transformed into so many things. What will it take to convince you that I'm not Mad Bach?
No matter if it's super serious moment, you can't remove that goofiness from it, turning into, I don't know, kind of unique character?
You big dummy. There's no such thing as super invisibility. When she walks away, I'll just... You again.
It really stands out at first, and then you can't see Seven without hearing this specific voice.
Have you ever thought about giving up killing and selling meatballs here forever?
The other cast is doing their job well, and to be fair, there are a lot of characters here, so touché. And while I can't say that any character can match the charm of Reagan,
man, that's a lot of noise. They're really strong, aren't they? If we were a couple of normal people, we might have been in real danger.
Daibo with his voice acting gets close to the essence of it.
Humanity's greatest weakness is love.
He's just a lovable scam artist that's also a chicken king.
You may call me Chicken a la King!
It's just fun. The other character voice actors allow themselves to get loose in some serious and goofy ways, but no one really feels out of place, you know? It never really feels lazy.
It's running away. No matter where you go, people will want to have you for dinner. Ready to cook you 50 different ways.
The last thing I want to cover is music. Now, again, just like Mob Psycho, I think that the show does one thing that is probably the hardest to do: have a distinct musical style. Think about it. How many shows or movies you know where you can hear any part of the soundtrack and be like, oh yeah, it's this thing.
The sight of you disgusts me.
That's a difficult task to do, right? And maybe I'm absolutely speaking from an English world perspective, right? But the mix of Chinese vibes, rock, and cute tones just matches so great.